What most people should eat, if you're between the ages of 21 and 54, you and I should be eating almost 8 slices or the equivalent of 8 slices of bread a day, and we won't get fat.
I always thought that bread was fattening.
It's not fattening at all. Bread really has only 60 to 75 calories in a 1-ounce slice. That's an average, typical 1-ounce slice of bread, which isn't very much when you consider the fact that it takes 4 slices of bread to equal the calories that you find in a hamburger patty or in a small glass of prune juice. Nobody thinks of those foods as being fattening, but for some reason people have come to consider any kind of carbohydrate, potatoes, bread, whatever it might be, as a fattening food. Not true. You need it and it's not fattening.
Can you tell a little bit about these different kinds of bread? What's different about each one?
Well, this one, of course, has raisins in it. That makes it different. It has cinnamon as well. This one is enriched white bread, which is made just from the endosperm of the wheat kernel. And the enrichment means it has the 3 B vitamins that we know we're deficient in our diet, plus iron added to it. Bread has been chosen as the carrier for these nutrients. A whole grain bread like this is made with the whole kernel of wheat. It has the bran layer. That's why it's dark and rough in texture. And this will have many of the micronutrients. These are nutrients that are found in very, very small quantities in it that are found in the bran layer, but can't be in this bread because it's made just from the endosperm. So this one has the enrichment factor with iron in the form most easily used by the human body. This has iron as well, but it's bound with phytic acid, so it's a little bit harder for us to use. And it has the micronutrients. As far as we know, there is no shortage of any of the micronutrients. We get enough of them in so many other foods that there isn't a concern about them. But they are here. They're not here. This has iron in the most easily used form. It also has more riboflavin than this has. So there are some differences. The smart thing to do, of course, is to eat some of both, and particularly to eat them if you're trying to lose weight, because they'll help to control your calorie intake. They keep you from being too hungry when you're on a diet. Anybody can go on a diet, but hardly anyone can stay on it. And bread helps you to stay on a diet because it satisfies your appetite. Really keeps your hunger under control, keeps you from having headaches.
What about protein in bread?
That's surprising too. 6 slices a day will give you 20 to 25% of your daily protein requirement, very, very inexpensively. And that's, of course, of great concern to anybody who is on a vegetarian diet where they have problems getting protein. But it's good, too, because bread can help you extend the more expensive animal proteins. If you take some white bread, particularly, but you could use any of them, and mix it with milk, and then add it to your hamburger patties, to your meatloaf, to your fish loaf, ham loaf, whatever, you'll find you'll get another full serving with very little extra cost.
Are there additives in bread?
Yes, there are. There are in almost all of our foods. There are over 160 different additives in ice cream, and 30-some different additives are permitted by law to be in bread. When we talk about additives, what we're mostly talking about are quote, preservatives. And when people say preservative, what they're mostly talking about is calcium propionate. Calcium propionate, whichever pronunciation you prefer, is naturally found in raisin bread because it's found in raisins. It's also naturally found in cheese. There's more in 1 ounce of cheese than there is in a 1-pound loaf of bread, and it's what keeps your bread from molding.
What would be the main misconception about bread that you would like to correct?
It is not a fattening food. It's very good for you, and the more you eat, the happier and the thinner you'll be.